Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to our first ever podcast here on MII Talk, where we are joined with our host Matt and our two co-hosts, me, IQ, and Isaac. Isaac, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Well, that's always good to hear. Mateo, how are you? Or just Matt? You can call him whatever.
I'm doing well. How about yourself,
Well, that is
IQ?
good to hear. Let's kick off to the topics, I guess. We're going to be going over 9/11 and more, conspiracies and more. So, Mateo, kick us off.
Alright, so
Mateo, kick us off.
to start us off, we're gonna talk about how 9/11, what we feel about 9/11, if anything has affected us due to 9/11. Religion and race has done, or 9/11 has done a big impact on racial profiling and races in general. So let's start with Isaac. How has it affected you in any way, or how do you feel about it?
Me personally, me nor my family have been affected, but the way I feel about it is pretty tragic. People lost their lives. People are going crazy because they're being racist towards like Muslims because of the terrorist attack. They think all Muslims are bad. It's not
Right.
true.
All right, IQ.
My dad's side is Muslim, and me, I'm Indian, or Pakistani to be exact. And it didn't affect me too much because I was born afterward. I'm guessing that's why it didn't affect me as much. It did affect my dad a lot though whenever he was here in the United States. So
All right.
nothing really, just I guess cyberbullying and bullying in school and stuff like that.
Right. For me personally, I'm Hispanic. I didn't really get any hate towards my family because of 9/11. I was born here in Texas. We weren't in New York. My parents weren't in New York when any of this happened. I do feel though, it's really tragic, how so many people lost their lives, and how all these racial profilings have come from this event. My prayers do go out to those families who lost lives in 9/11. But besides that, we're going to go ahead and move into the conspiracies of 9/11. And to start us off, we're going to be talking about how many people think there was bombs placed in the buildings, which made the entire building collapse. So first of all, there is footage of firefighters who were on scene saying that there was bombs in the building. They could hear explosions from the main lobby. Survivors who were exiting from the main lobby also said that you can hear explosions going off from the
Okay,
main
continue,
lobby
continue.
to the second floor.
Well, um, then again, you need gas tanks to keep stuff running. You need all this, and once the plane probably hit, everything just went downhill. All the crumble fell to the first floor, everything. So I'm guessing pretty
Right.
bogus what they.
But there was also I do believe there was bombs. I am a believer of this conspiracy theory because there was also the survivors and the firefighters also said that the you can hear explosions before the first plane hit. Right
Right,
as the
right,
plane was
isn't it?
about to hit, you can hear explosions going off at the bottom, and then the first plane hit, which makes many people believe that there was bombs in the building. Experts also say that there was bombs in the building. Isaac, do you have an opinion on this?
Uh, let's see. So someone must have had an insider on like the blueprints of the building itself. And in the footage of the news footage, it shows the plane hit in the middle, which
Right.
is weird because if the bombs are at the bottom, why like it's just weird because the middle started collapsing first, which confuses me at this point.
Right. The plane. There's also many conspiracies about the planes being fake, like CGI, camera tricks, and stuff like that. But the back to the bombs, they said that the government had purposely done this so they can go to war with the Middle East. For any reason, really, it could be about money. It could just be about just staying at war, pretty much. Um, that's why, like you said, somebody had must have had the blueprints, and nobody really had blueprints to the trade centers other than the government, because that is a government. Those two buildings were government buildings.
Property.
So
Yeah. Um. Yeah. You could always say you could always just be safe in your own general side. You can
right,
think one thing to push against the government, but there you can cause war in so many ways. You can just go straight to war. You
right,
know, because at the end of the day, the truth is that their thought, their what they're saying to U.S. citizen is, oh, he was Muslim, he's a terrorist. He was Indian, he's a terrorist. He's in the Middle East, he was a part of the 20 terrorists.
mm-hmm.
No, no, that's not true. There was also a French terrorist that never really made it out. So he took awkward flying lessons, by the way. That rose a bunch of red flags and did get the CIA involved
Right,
whenever he was taking his flying lessons because he didn't take lessons on how to take off, how to land, how to maneuver. He just took them on how to fly in a straight line.
right.
So it's many red flags throughout this entire 9/11 area, and it's very sad. And then there's pre 9/11. What would you call it? It's like people showing you that
Uh,
it's trying to get to you that oh it's gonna happen before it really
predictive
happened.
programming.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
So that's another big conspiracy about predictive programming. You could see many posters and inside of cartoons, kids' cartoons. There's TV shows and album covers of 9/11,
Hmm.
references to 9/11 happening before it actually happened. I remember there was this one poster inside of a cartoon that showed the trade centers and a plane coming in from left or right, or the left or right side, about to hit the towers. And this was shown multiple times. That's also another reason why people think the government did this on purpose.
Yeah, and it's if anything, is you can say one thing is that life is just full of Easter eggs. No matter where you are, no matter who you are, no matter how old you are, life will always be full of Easter eggs.
Right.
Life is just an awkward,
It. Right.
stage that like the world's going through. Because we started from nothing, now we're here, and no matter like what, there will always be like endless amounts of chaos, and it'll be continuous. It's never gonna stop, and it's not getting through some people's head. They want world peace, but you can't just do it like that. You can't just protest, wear certain colors, and boom. That's not how world peace, comes to one end. You have to get the world on the same terms, and that's just never gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Right.
So, I don't know. 9/11 was bound to happen. Something just as bad as 9/11 was bound to happen eventually. It was just a matter of when, and apparently during September it was. It was that time.
Right.
Isaac,
So.
any thoughts?
No, no, no.
No,
All right.
okay.
Fair enough. Um. So yeah, that's on the screen. I will show pictures and videos of these predictive programming examples. There's been multiple, like various examples of the Twin Towers or things representing the Twin Towers before or post 9/11. Um, Another thing would be camera tricks. So a lot of people think that the planes were CGI. There was experts saying that the planes were not real, that they were CGI, bad CGI at that, because a plane would crumble as soon as it would hit steel. A Boeing 747 if it hit a wall of steel, the front end would crumble, and that makes people think they were CGI because during the event you can see the nose of the plane come out the other side of one of the trade center or one of the
Well, then
twin
that was
towers.
never captured on. That was never captured on the
It was.
camera. That was said. That was said
It was
via.
captured.
Oh, well,
A
it's
lot of
a hefty
people.
plane, and there could have been thousands of malfunction. Like
Right,
via the
but
Titanic, there were thousands of malfunction.
you could
It was
see
bound
the
to go
nose
down.
intact coming out the other side, which is really physically impossible. And as that happened, it disappears. A lot of people said they didn't see that in the event, but they saw it on television, which really doesn't make sense. Like how could you not see something or see something on camera and not see it in real life when you were right there watching it happen?
Yeah, true, 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 true. Makes a
There
lot of
was
sense
also
actually.
a video of one of the planes about to hit and the wing disappears and then it magically pops up again. That could have been a camera glitch. It might have skipped the frame. Um, but there's also videos. If you sync up all the live news centers, if you sync them all up, they all black out as the second. I think yeah, the second plane hits. They all
Well, one
black
thing
out
that
almost
was
simultaneously.
okay. Well, one thing that was um filmed by bystanders was the second plane actually hitting, and it honestly looks unreal. But you just know if you were there and you heard like everyone scream and
Mm-hmm.
just everything you hear, it's it can hurt, and I'm sure it hurts some people, makes them cry, makes them well up in tears, and I'm
Right.
sure it hurts the families too. So
Right.
you just have to be there, I guess. It was one of those
Yeah.
things to know it was real. So if you were to go and ask somebody right now who was like right next to the World Trade Center, still alive today, and wasn't killed, I'm sure they would say it was drop dead real. The people falling out of the building, the
Oh
people
yeah.
screaming for their lives, the people crying.
Right.
There's no way this
That's
could have been faked. There's no way this could have been faked.
super tragic. There are many videos showing people jumping out because they were too scared or they were trapped. Um,
Yeah,
they were too scared for another plane to hit or going down with the building, so they jumped out. Multiple people jumped out of the tower. It's really
yeah.
I've seen videos of it. It's really heartbreaking that had to happen. But you know this government is corrupt. Really, it's not a good government system at all. They would do anything to get what they want, and it's
Start a war,
really
yeah.
really heartbreaking that humanity has
Yeah.
come to this.
Okay, so talking about some conspiracy theories here. What are your thoughts on aliens per se and current Area 51 and everything going on right now? Actually, that's been going
Um,
on for years on end now. Matter of fact, what do you think about aliens and
aliens,
paranormal stuff?
I believe they're real. Um, the Canadian government has came out to say that they are real. There's multiple species of aliens. There's species of aliens that look exactly like humans. You couldn't tell the difference if a human was sitting next to a that species of alien. You probably couldn't tell the difference of which is the alien and which is the actual human. There's actual
Yeah,
videos of government
yeah,
officials.
yeah, people with the knives. Yeah, I've seen that.
Right. There was also videos. I'm sure multiple people have seen it already. Millions of people have seen it already of Beyonce in a concert, and she
Yeah,
transforms. I'm not saying she's an alien, but there are some very phenomenal and extraterrestrial things going on that the government doesn't want us to know.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt.
This
So, like,
can be this can be very controversial because the first person who actually came up with the idea of aliens created their own visual image, so we don't actually know what they really look like.
Right, but the
yeah,
Canadian government did come out and say that there was multiple species of aliens.
I know what I'm saying.
and there
Like,
was a man, there was an ex-military man that has been into space. He also flew planes. I forget his name. He was top class, top of the class. As he retired, started experiencing stuff. He claimed that he started experiencing MIB at his door, which is Men in Black. And if you don't know who that is, I guess you could turn it on and go search it up. Or I can tell you like a quick small area on MIB. They're just well, how would you word this?
it was more of like
They're
a
they're
corporation.
like big buff guys that wear, of course, black suits. If you ever watched the movie Men
CIA
in Black,
agents and government
so
officials.
they make sure that you have no recollection, like or memory of this alien or this species that you've seen. So he claims that Men in Black have been to his door plenty of times, and
Yeah,
he's
they're
also been on live television talking about there's plenty of species. They're real. They're real. There's no faking it now. It's too late.
right,
So it's just skin not warming to the heart to hear that there's stuff out there that's not just us.
right.
Per se.
It's another reason a lot of people ask why the government would keep this from us. A lot of people would not know how to react if aliens were real. They'd panic. They'd start wearing tinfoil hats and stuff like that. Um,
That was a
so
big thing.
that you would, but
Well, you have to wear
that's
well,
a lot of people would say that it would cause world panic, pretty much, because there's so many people that won't know how to react. I personally think they're already
I would
here,
care
so I'm not.
less.
It's not
I
a
would
big
care
deal for
less.
me. Yeah, I could care
I
less.
would care less.
It's interesting. It's
Wait till
very
Isaac,
interesting,
Isaac,
actually.
Isaac, Isaac, Isaac. What do you mean you're a victim? Did you have to wear a tinfoil hat?
No, I'm saying like it was, it's
Did you
a
get
big
probed?
thing. No, I said it was a big thing. The old controversy where aliens were real. People started wearing, had tinfoil ready,
Mm-hmm.
had
Yeah. What
hats
do you mean
ready.
you were a victim though? Explain, explain,
I didn't
explain.
say I was a victim. I said it was a big
Oh,
thing.
I thought you said you were a victim. I thought you got probed. Oh,
Good
Mr.
probing.
Idiot, what are you doing now? Whoa, whoa.
Exactly. Like you said, Isaac, it would really cause a lot of people to panic and not know what to do. Like people wearing tinfoil hats, what is that gonna do? Is that gonna scare off the alien? It's not gonna
Most
stop
likely.
him.
The
What?
weakness is thin.
Oh, shiny.
Or
Bro.
what if you throw the tinfoil at him? Boom, problem solved.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd get
But
distracted. You
like,
got 2 seconds to run
but
away.
before this whole conversation, my point was like whoever made like the drawing, the first ever drawing of an alien, like he like bald head,
He did
gray,
some
beady
stuff.
like
He
big
Right,
did
that
some
is
stuff.
a
eyes,
species of alien,
like
though.
big eyes. Yeah, yeah, but it washed everybody to make people think that that was actually what aliens look like,
It could be.
what
You
all
never
aliens
know.
look like.
Um, yeah, there's multiple species of aliens. There's like 81 species. That's, I think that's what I heard. Um, yeah. There's been multiple people that have been trying to come out about aliens. There's videos of fighter jets. There's more videos coming out about UFOs being spotted. Like I've been seeing a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
videos of that, of a lot of captured UFOs. I think they even changed the name of UFO. They changed it.
UFO.
I think I forgot what it's called, but they did change the term. I still like calling it UFO though because that's what I'm comfortable with.
UFO.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. So one thing that is considered life on Earth is a considerable alien per se, right? So moving on to life on Earth, let's get more into detail about your host and your co-host. Mateo, what's got you here to this point exactly? Making a podcast with two random people that you've met throughout your life.
well, everything I've ever done has led to this moment, which, if you really
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about it deeply, kind of blows my mind because every single thing that you've ever done from your birth up to now has led you to this moment exactly.
Proceeds
I
to bang on
apologize.
desk
Aggressively.
aggressively.
Yeah. It's like
Well,
God.
it's like you're one of
this
those people
podcast
that
was
clap
just
when they talk.
really, yeah, it was just
Oh, God.
really an idea that we've decided to take it seriously.
It's a
Um,
bangable desk.
I bet you're one of those people that clap when they talk. Oh my gosh.
I like to fidget with something.
Yeah, I
I like
understand. I
move my
understand. I
fingers,
understand. So
crack
do
my
I. I usually
knuckles.
throw. Like I play with the water bottle, crack my fingers, throw my phone in it.
Uh huh. Right.
It's like
So
throw.
this was just really a big idea that IQ mentioned at first,
It
and
started as a
we
joke.
just
Now
it
we're
was
taking it
yeah,
seriously.
but now
Now we're
we're
taking it
here
seriously.
talking
No,
about
now here
It all
we
conspiracy
are
started
at
when we
theories.
had it.
10:56,
Is when
nearly
we started
11.
a long ass conversation, and then we started. Hey,
When I first touched your head.
when
Sorry, go ahead.
that first touch.
The first touch. No, but Isaac, what's gotten you here, man? What is life
What's
like
gotten
for
me
you?
here? You know, it's been different. You know, life changes, people change, everything ends up
Without a doubt.
changing. You know,
He's different, man.
so
Yeah,
but the moment when I found Mateo was the first guy I met. Like in
yeah,
like
yeah,
before for you, obviously. And then in high
yeah.
school now it's you. So and then we had this idea to make a podcast, which I feel
Mhm.
like this was somehow planned through the universe. That this was planned
Uh huh.
for us. You know,
Lots of good moments.
Yeah, have
Look,
plenty of good moments. You know
what y'all
what?
might not know is that there's so many takes that I've deleted. A lot of bloopers that I've deleted,
you could have
unfortunately.
saved him, dude. You could have saved him. You could have saved
Well,
him.
I needed storage. Let's not talk about
Yeah,
that.
it's fair.
Yeah, yeah. Oh shit! Someone's
Uh,
trying to blow me up.
Oh.
I'm in.
yo,
Oh, that's not a good thing to say when we just talked about 9/11.
I'm sorry. I'm playing GTA.
jeez, man,
I'm
jeez,
playing
You're
man.
GTA. I'm
canceled
playing GTA.
already.
Okay, can you take that out, please?
No, I'm keeping that in.
No, no. All
I'm
right.
playing GTA.
Well, Mateo, what did you want to do when you were younger? Like, what was like? You are where you are now, obviously. Well, what did you want to do when you were younger?
Mighty machines. You know the big tractors,
Say that again.
cranes. Mighty machines.
Okay.
Yeah. I grew up watching Mighty Machines, the show. It was just about tractors, big trucks, and stuff like that. But I've always wanted to be a police officer. I know, very controversial to this day. Um, but I've always been interested in doing something hands-on. You know, driving. I'm into cars a lot. I love cars. I want to get a Nissan R34. I know I sound like one of those fake JDM fans, but still. Um, right now, I'm really just interested in doing social media like YouTube because it's a really good opportunity for teens nowadays. But if I had to do a career, it'd have to be bounty hunting because it's similar to being a police officer, but it's more action, really.
Yeah, Isaac, what have you ever like? What have you?
You know, when I was younger, I always dreamed of like being. I see. Like I would always watch these shows, movies, like, oh my God, this person did that. I wanted to be like them. It was always changing, always different. Never had my mind set on one thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To be honest, I couldn't even remember.
Okay, IQ.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you.
Um. Well, for the longest I wanted to be a pro soccer player, and I'm still striving towards that dream while doing this at the same time. And it's working out pretty well for me right now. Everything's lining up.
That's good.
Not too many holes in the way, and
You
not
gonna be the
even
next Ronaldo?
no better.
Exactly.
I'm
That's what I'm
kidding. I'm
saying. The
kidding.
next one.
No, but
The new
like,
Ronaldo.
if it's one thing, I never thought I'd be here 11 p.m. on the dot in the night, just talking to y'all over a podcast that
And
I
we
Hey,
just
should have
thought
started
about.
hours ago. And we should have started
yeah.
Should have
hours
We should have
started
ago.
started
days
at
ago, days
9.
ago, days ago,
Actually, no, it was
man.
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
It was like
Yes.
we're
2 weeks
supposed to do
ago.
this 2 weeks ago. We're supposed to upload this on
We're a
9/11.
little delayed. We're a little delayed.
Only a little. 2 weeks, only
Yeah,
a
we were
little,
supposed
obviously.
to
Oh,
upload
I'm a
this
little delayed.
before 9/11, and then we were supposed to upload this on 9/11, and now we're here
Yeah,
after 9/11.
2 days,
a day
3 days,
or two
I can't
after.
count. 2 days after nine
A
eleven.
day or two after, yeah. Sad
It's
event.
the
You gotta
13th.
feel for the families.
Yeah, 2 days.
Um,
It better
You're
be
so
3.
but
off.
speaking on top of our lives, let's move on to another topic that's closely related, I guess, and it'll be your close encounters or your close calls. Mateo, what's the closest you've been to death? What is it?
Um, I really need to think about this one. Um, the closest I've been to death. Well, when I was little, I would say
You're still
around.
little.
Well, shut up. When I was younger,
A
um,
youngin.
That's what,
I would say I was around 7 to 9 years old. I
uh-huh.
lived in these apartments. They looked like houses, like conjoined houses, but it was like a gated community. It wasn't in a bad area or
Okay,
anything.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I get it.
me and my friend went to the park, and we were climbing this tree. Um, and I remember I was looking at this bird or something, and I slipped and I fell right on my crotch, and then I was like pretty much frozen, and I tipped over and started tumbling down straight to the ground, almost head on before like I caught myself.
Jesus, man, that had to
Like,
hurt.
yeah, it really did hurt.
Yeah, that had to hurt. Jesus. Isaac, what's the closest call that you've had?
You know, I I've had way too
Just death,
many.
yeah.
Yeah, I've had
All right, let's
way
hear.
too many.
Let's hear.
But there's
Let's hear
actually
some.
this one happened not too long ago. I'm gonna tell you, you were there. You were walking down the stairs, right? Walking down the stairs, I tripped and almost bust my head
Oh,
open. Almost bust my fucking head open.
Yeah, at
Then,
least your head will be easy to stitch up, bro.
yeah, we're
shut up.
walking down the
But
stairs.
I also had another close call. Curling. I was curling, and well,
Was this
not curling.
recent?
It was military. Not military. Overhead press, whatever it's called, military press. That's what I call it. But it's I sat down while holding the bar over my head still. I fall back and having the bar nearly hit my head, crushing my head. I fall back. I fall back, still holding on the bar, and and I fall back. I hit the floor. The bar didn't. Thank God.
Isaac had a rough one. Isaac had a rough one.
Mm-hmm.
You'll need a couple nights to recover from that, man. Jesus.
Hey, Q, what about you?
Closest was in an abandoned golf course with my brother and an old friend named Peyton. So, I've had a lot of close calls actually when I lived there with my dad. But the closest was, I think, this one. because it's you, you could say traumatic if like you're really lighthearted,
And
but at the end of it, we got away. So we entered this old abandoned golf course. I could take y'all there. It's not far from here. It's near Anderson Elementary if y'all want to go. But I was with my brother. I'm the youngest in the group, obviously. Actually, I was like around 10, 9 maybe. So was Peyton, and all three of us were heading down the abandoned golf course. Peyton's like, "Hey, bro, I see a deer." I was like, "Yo, that's cool. That's cool. We gotta be quiet. We gotta be quiet." My brother's like, "All right, bro, let's go check up on it." And so we're far from that deer. We're far from that deer. Nowhere near that deer's like hearing area. And the deer just takes off running in our direction. Not our direction, but as if like an L, and then
mm-hmm.
you made it like a really boxy U. It's like an open box. Like he just took off running. And we were confused because wouldn't he go the other way? Because if we were approaching him, and then as we walk down, we see the road, and you can get from that road to Anderson, like really close. And then someone in a white with green costume starts just darting at us, and he's coming from the high grass. And the grass is about like 3 feet tall. I'm only about like 4 foot tall. He just comes darting at us, and then there's another guy in a black suit darting beside us. So there's two people to the side of us. One guy steps on a wooden plank from a broken down house. It was after that you could tell it was broken down by water, but he stepped on it and he got caught behind, and it was one of the black, another one of the whites just darting at us. But me, and Peyton are fast, and my brother he was pretty fat. He's in the army now, but he was chubby back then. I'll tell you, he weighed max at the 13. He weighed nah, yeah 192. Like he was fat,
Mm.
so he had trouble keeping up with us, obviously. So um, we were like, dude, do something, do something, do something. So Peyton and I go back, and like we have rocks in our hands. We start pelting them at the guy, and I only one of mine connected, and it hit his knee, which kind of stopped him, put him down. And then Peyton missed most like two, three of his because we like Daniel was like he had a backpack. He was carrying stuff in it, so we like dropped rocks in his backpack because he's strong. He's the oldest one there, so we trust him. Start pelting him at him, all three of us. And like only two of them connected out of like the 14 that we threw, and then that was the closest. But the
Yeah, that
scariest
would be
part
very
was
scary.
it wasn't even the people chasing us. It was the dog that came out of the woods. It was such a nice dog too, because like it just meow like straight across our pathway. Like I tell you, we have to go there one day. We have to go there one day.
Yeah,
So
that would
like,
be very terrifying.
I'll show you how it went down and where it went. But yeah, that's my closest call.
Yeah, that's
So
really scary. I've had more close calls when I was really younger. I, when I was way younger.
English,
Sorry,
you do
English.
good English today.
When I was very younger.
Very younger.
Yeah, I've had multiple things. I've choked on marbles. I've choked on pebbles, ice,
Why you choking on marbles and pebbles, bro?
because I was curious and I put them in my mouth.
Ooh, marbles.
Is it
I've
like
had a grandfather clock fall on me.
Oh, no.
I searched up grandfather clock without the L.
Oh,
Oh my god.
so
Good.
is putting cologne in your mouth dangerous?
I would say,
Considerably, maybe, just maybe.
I mean,
Are you
if
gonna
you
kiss a
have
girl?
a bottle, then
Because when I
yes.
was when I was younger, I thought that cologne sitting on the dresser was mouth spray to make your breath smell good. So I started spraying it, and my mom caught me, and I don't
You
know.
say she caught you like it was a bad thing. It's a horrible thing. Jesus. Oh yeah, my mom caught me. She kind of stopped me from killing myself.
She stopped me, like,
I thought
Like,
the
what is she
cologne
doing?
was mouth spray. I used it to make my breath smell good. I didn't realize it was cologne. Mm.
Did your breath smell good?
It made your
Oh hell
breath
yeah!
smell like
Was it
savage.
bang for
Like
it?
savage, near
I've had
death,
a
but savage. Near
This one
death, but my
time.
breath smells amazing.
You want to talk about paranormal stuff? Paranormal experiences?
Paranormals. Ooh.
I've had plenty of experiences paranormally.
I have two.
Well,
My
I'm
family's
gonna have
very
to sit this
crazy.
one out. I'm gonna have to sit this one
Yeah,
out.
here
You
you
don't have
are,
any
Cam. All
experiences?
right. I have like a couple.
All right. You want to start it off, or do I?
Take it away. Take it on.
Okay.
Take the floor.
Let's start when I was younger, like always. Um, we had a very scary um
Yes.
event. My brother, he was possessed.
Oh
He got
dang.
possessed. Um, I wasn't born yet. But we used to go to church every day, or not every day, every weekend, like a regular family, a regular Christian family. Um, we one day, or they one day went back to their house, and my brother started talking to himself. He started saying stuff like that's my mom, I wouldn't do that to her, and like just talking to himself pretty much. And so my mom went to go see what was up, and then it got more intense. He started crying, he started panicking, and so that's when my mom knew to call my uncle. He was a pastor at the church we went to,
Huh?
and what I was told was that he was put in a chair or something, and he was still like going crazy. The spirit was taking him over, and my uncle was, doing pretty much an exorcism to get the spirit out of my brother. It was going insane. It was like the spirit was pretty much telling my brother to kill my mom. But fortunately, he knew how to fight it. He knew how to fight the ghost or the spirit, and fortunately, my uncle got the spirit out of him, and he blessed the whole house. So luckily, that never happened again. But there was more paranormal activity happening after that. I could say
Yeah.
more, but would you like to say one?
I've got a couple. Um, I don't know where to start. Uh, you gonna have to take the floor while I'm thinking, man. I forget. I've had a
Um,
couple. I'm trying to think of a decent one.
well, after I was born, we had these Care Bears. Y'all know what Care Bears are?
Yeah, who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Okay,
Honestly, on the table, who
just
doesn't?
make. Well, my sister had this yellow Care Bear. Um, and it would pretty much talk at night. It was
Did you burn it?
possessed.
Did you burn it?
I think so. I think we just threw it away. But
You should have burned it.
I was very young. Like I'm talking like 3 years old, maybe even less. I don't know. We've had these Care Bears. It would like randomly appear in certain places. It would talk.
Oh no.
Um,
Oh
it
no.
would move
Oh
by
no.
itself. It would, you know, things that a possessed
Shaitan.
doll would do. Um, I think one time, I don't know if this happened or not, but I think I remember them telling me this. We threw it away and it came back to the house.
That's some Annabelle stuff right there, man.
Yeah, it really is. Um, you got your story, or do I need to tell more? Cause I got a lot more.
Dude, yours are like way interesting. Way more interesting. I can't even see this today. Here's a way more
Uh,
interesting. Continue.
my next ghost story or paranormal story was it's a series of things. We moved to this my current house. Luckily, it hasn't happened recently, but I think a few years ago, my sister would come back from work, and there's this one time where she tried to open the front door, but she felt something holding the door, not letting her in, and she
She
kept
thought it
on
was
trying
me,
to
maybe.
push it, and she felt something holding the door, and she managed to get in, and she of course came up and told us. So I think after that we went, like, not completely after that, but like I'm saying, like a couple months later, um me, my brother, and my sister, my younger sister, she or we all went downstairs to watch a movie or watch a TV show, and we're chilling on the couch. Um, and then my brother points out that the pantry door opened by itself, and I turn around just in time to see it open. Um, so I was terrified because I've never really experienced something like that. So I was obviously scared. So I ran over to my brother and sister, which were on the same couch, and I was on a different one. So I ran over to them, and I was really, really scared. So I couldn't even reach over to the remote to hand them to them. They still tease me about that to this day because I was terrified. Um, and then after that, we have an Alexa, and she turned on by herself and said something like, "Sorry, I didn't understand what you said," and nobody was talking. Nobody had activated her, and then she malfunctioned. Um,
Okay.
After that, there was like a few months after that, maybe I woke up because I heard somebody open the door, and so I look over, and nobody was at the door. So I was like, I just fell back to sleep, and then I realized that I didn't check my closet door. And so I looked over and it was wide open. And I remember the night before I had closed it because I always do that. Um, I had closed it because I went in there, got some clothes, and shut it. So I remembered um, that I saw it wide open. I heard it, and um, that's that one. After that,
That's horrifying. What do you mean that's just that one, man?
yeah, it
Dude,
is
if that
horrifying.
happened,
Yeah, I was terrified. But I have
what kind
another
of house do
one
you live in?
where um I was walking in my hallway here where I'm currently sitting. I was walking to my sister's room,
There.
and I realized for some reason, like, my vision got brighter. Um and I looked back, and the bathroom door is open with the light on. And I just came out of there, and I turned off the light and closed the door. And so I
Yeah,
freaked out.
that,
I ran
that,
to my mom's
that's one of
room.
those.
I ran to my mom's
That's
room.
one of those.
I was like, I was like, the light turned on by itself, the door open. I'm just completely freaking out. And obviously, like a mom would say, like, hey, it's okay, like nothing happened, it was already on. But I knew she knew that it wasn't already on. Um, and a lot more stuff happened, like more paranormal stuff happened that I don't really remember. But that would pretty much be mine.
Dang.
Mhm.
Well, mine's not all too big. Is it? We were watching something scary. Me, my brother, Khalid, Daniel. We were watching a scary movie, and the movie's just about to come to an end. Maybe 10, 20 minutes later, it's just beating up at the climax. It's beating up towards the end, and what happens is we have these chandelier looking type thingies, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's an Egyptian household, so there's these like deck decorations, everything like that, you know,
Uh-huh.
because the apartment looks nice. And those those decorations, you know, I guess they developed a mind of their own apparently, because they just started spinning and rocking.
Ooh.
And we were all sitting down. Nobody else was home. No one, not a single soul, just us three. We were all sitting down on the couch, and it just started spinning.
Yeah, that
And
is very scary.
I don't know. It's well, all three of them started spinning, and then there was just one that wouldn't stop spinning, the centered one. And
Yeah,
there's no
that's
real way I can like explain it because everyone's sitting down. Dad's not home. Mariam's not home. Hamza's not home. Data's not over. So
yeah. I don't think I've experienced something like that. I've obviously experienced some very like scary stuff, considering I've had
yeah, man,
interactions
I
with
would have been out of
ghosts.
your house by now. I would have been out of your house by now.
I mean, it's not severe things like what happened with my brother. I've had
No, the
more
man in my
We
closet
experiences.
don't know
sounds
that.
severe on it.
We don't know that.
Luckily, it hasn't. I don't want to jinx it, but nothing has happened recently. If something does happen, I will tell you guys because I'm. I don't know how I would react. I'm mature enough to like realize I shouldn't be scared of these things, and I try not to. Try my best to not be scared of these things because
Until it
apparently if
becomes your
because they
problem.
feed off your energy. So if you give them like if you're scared of it, then they would feed on it and get even stronger. So I always put this in my brain where it's like if something happens, I shouldn't be scared because I'm making them stronger. Yeah.
Yeah, new topics, anyone?
No, we're closing up on about 50 minutes or to an hour already. So I think this is where we're gonna wrap it up. Um, hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of MII Talks. I'm your host, obviously, Matt. You got your co hosts, IQ, Isaac,
Hola.
You
and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. You can leave suggestions in comments or if you want to follow us on Instagram at MII Talks. You can leave suggestions there on our posts once we post. But that'll be it for this episode. You want to say anything?
Yeah, thank you all for tuning in, and can't wait for the hard work to come in the next couple of years, I guess. See where the channel can go.
next
That's
episode
all.
coming soon.
Next episode's coming really soon, actually, because we had a
Yeah,
lack of
yeah.
food.
Mm-hmm.
Cough, cough, no parties, right?
Not
Well,
probably no
you got a
parties. No,
game,
no.
so
No delay, no
Isaac,
delay.
you got
No,
anything
no.
to say?
Uh, all I can say is, our see the next episode coming soon. Stay tuned.